Why would you even have any of the doors unlocked at all on that day?
Any other for that matter.
Can't.
There's not a door in my house that is not always locked.
There you go. Especially when it's dark.
Right. I don't even like having the blinds open because it feels like someone might be staring into my house.
Yes, it's true. Yeah. And these parts were comedic too.
That's what I'm saying. I was watching this like when he does I'm thinking we're about to see something.
And
like,
he pulls out this little dinky knife. Remember, he goes over here, he gets this little dinky knife. Like, seriously? He should have left the rings on because that will hurt more when you hit.
I'm thinking he's about to get a combat suit on or something. No.
Yeah, like grab a big weapon. No, this little bitty cheese knife. Are you kidding?
Well, it's from the charcuterie. It makes perfect sense. See, I can't remember. How does he get in there?
This is the guy from the mental hospital, right?
Yeah, but I'm like, were they assuming he was one of the staff? Like, how did he even get into the hospital?
He just walks in.
That's the guy.
Because he's banged up. Maybe they thought he was just like some injured person.
That's true.
But isn't he also in like a hospital gown because he broke it? No, he was in his the garb from the mental institution.
You see, completely, like I said, it's all coming back now. But completely forgot he just walks in and then all these people see him.
They had also been showing his face on the news earlier in the evening.
Right. Yeah, they showed him earlier. Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh. Like, do you really think Michael would just... Like, Michael skulks in the shadows. He doesn't walk into a crowd of people. And they're like, Michael, is that you?
Right.
Oh, this is terrible, D. This is so, so bad. Oh, God. I like your version of it in the review much better.
Oh, my gosh.
You did.
Like, listen, I would watch the musical before I watch this again. Seriously.
Oh, gosh. Mm-mm.
And that's what I'm saying. Even the way, like, not even just this, but I forgot, like, as he's stumbling past, hey, people dies tonight.
And some of the people, the very first time I watched it on the big screen, it's obviously more like, oof. But I hadn't noticed some of the people were like running in the crowd. One person didn't they have like an iron or something?
Yes.
They were running with and they were just like kind of running and being real goofy looking, which I didn't catch the very first time I saw it.
Right.
But now every time I watch it, it's just, not that I've seen it often, but now when I see it, that scene is just like, oh, what were they thinking when they filmed this scene? Were they directing them to just look as absolutely ridiculous and goofy as possible?
I think so, because that's why I mentioned World War Z in my review, because, like the way that they just like flop over and just like climb. It's like, are people just flying into walls and flying downstairs? And like, that's what I remember thinking. I'm going to have to really watch out for this.
Gosh. Where I live. Yeah, that was gross. Oh no! The eyeball, the actual eyeball. You see it?
Right. I can't do it.
Oh yeah, that was nasty.
It was. Like I said, a lot of this stuff is gory and messed up, but just the eyes, just take it somewhere else.
Have you seen Barbarian?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Thank you. That scene where she rips into, it's Justin Long, that's his name, the actor, where she rips his whole head up. That probably bothered you though, because it involved eyeballs. I think.
Oh gosh! See, this is what I'm talking about. How do you suddenly lose your motor functions and you're just like crashing and flying into everything? It makes no sense.
Is that him? Is that him? No, he's short and fat. Michael is not. I mean, the line that she used, like calling them sheep, that's pretty apt. When people do get in this mindless sort of frenzy, they are like a bunch of sheep just following the herd.
And they will literally go off a cliff, real sheep.
Oh, yeah. Sheriff is like, oh, hell is done broke loose. It's hospital.
And I don't know what she was thinking. Like, ma'am, do you know how stitches work? And you know what happens when they burst open? Like,
yeah.
No, not the.
And then she happens to, of course, she just happens to. Oh, Lord, I can't. It's. What?
Wait. Was that screaming or was that the music blaring?
I think it was the music. Like that. Yeah. As they showed his face. Which, of course, she just happens to walk by because there's a place with dead bodies right there in the open for anybody to see.
With the blinds open, absolutely.
Oh, God.
It's so just
Please let the next movie be so much better. I'm
just like, now we're just fighting people to do what? Like, what are we doing?
I'm the one who brought it all on.
No.
I could have made all this go away.
He didn't create the chaos. People created the chaos. You should have let the doctor do it.
I could have made all this go away.
Yeah.
It's cringy when she says boogeyman in this movie. Like it wasn't in 2018, when she was talking to the reporters. It wasn't at all. It worked.
Yeah.
But in this scene, it's just so cartoonish.
So I'm wondering, like, who does this fall on? Like,
it's like a bunch of people had their hands in the writing pot.
It seems like it. I would love to talk to whoever came up with Evil Dust tonight.
Right. Wouldn't that be something if it was if it was a creation of David Gordon Green's directly?
Ooh, he would. I don't know if he would admit it though. At this point.
He might not would.
I remember thinking that was really going to go left at some point, but it didn't. With her just being there with him, I was like, is he going to dip and do something? But no.
Yeah, because they were in a hospital for, like extreme mentally ill people, like dangerously mentally ill people. So it would have made more sense if he had done something to her. But they present him here as just this poor little innocent, confused guy, and he was in that place for a reason.
Right. I can hear the director saying, okay, just look angry and scream and yell. Yep.
Look as goofy as you can while you're doing it.
So my question, at this point, what are we doing?
I know they're trying to make a statement, a commentary. I get that. And I agree with the statement, the mom's dangerous and all that. But because we've seen plenty of stuff like that get out of hand in mob situations. So, when I was watching this the first time, I was disturbed because I was thinking about real life events that happen to people when the mob's going crazy.
Right.
But, the more I see it, the cringier and cringier it gets. Oh, and then when they show him after he lands.
That's what really, because my thing is, let's just say we're trying to make this a semi-serious, slightly emotional moment. But that was over as soon as...
Snaps you right out of it. As soon as they show it. What he looks like, yeah.
Like...
They should have left that up to your imagination.
It's not him.
That's not him.
Not him, Tommy.
It never even looked like him anyway, from the short glimpses they got of him.
How do we know, Lee?
This part is stupid. Michael Myers' stature. Well, Lori does anyway, but she's running around. Michael, is that you? It's not him. It doesn't even remotely look like him, even if you didn't see his face.
Right.
Oh.
You figure that out now that he's in bits and pieces. Okay.
What? That was stupid too. This part. I'm going in alone. Why?
Mr. Elon, with all due respect, you really.
That's what I'm saying. Like, where's the? But how is that going to help them to honk if you're already in the house and he's walking up on them?
Right. That's like the number one thing you shouldn't do in horror is split up.
Literally, that's.
Of course, they made it that Michael will kill people all in groups, so that doesn't matter, I guess, anymore. Sometimes I'm more forgiving of films in the beginning, and then as time goes on, I get more and more resentful. That's kind of like what's happening with this. I was more kind to this film in the early days, though I was disappointed. It's like the more I think about what's wrong with it, it just...
I was actually thinking that because it was not that you were like, oh, it was great, but you weren't as quite as annoyed with it as I was.
Yes,
initially.
right.
And then I kind of see now you're like, oh.
It's true. It's true. Yeah, there've been other films that happened to as well.
Can you think of any?
It Chapter 2. I feel like I was a little bit more forgiving of that in the beginning. Now I'm just like, oh, it's so. I really don't want to watch it again. It's so bad.
Makes me so mad.
Yeah, and I really love that first one. Oh, so good. It's like they just don't know how to wrap up things. I just don't get it. What are you barking at?
And it was clear once they got that bigger budget, they threw it all at the CGI, supposedly scary stuff. I'm like, no, that's not where you need to be focused on.
No, that's not what makes a film scary. I mean, sometimes some of the best movies have come about on budgets that are limited, like that iconic Michael Myers mask. That happened because they were on a small budget.
Exactly.
And they just bought this $2 mask at the store and did this crazy stuff with it. And look what we have now, because the ingenuity that came about, they had to think creatively.
Right.
It's not because of the money you throw at it. That doesn't make something better a lot of times.
And the funny thing is, to me, the scariest part of it, Chapter 2, you remember the part when the girl wanders under the bleachers?
Vaguely.
Yeah. It's the girl who has like the mark on her face.
Oh, okay.
Firefly, they're at a baseball game, and she follows the firefly under the.
Yeah.
Yeah. To me, that was the scariest part. And although we knew what was going to happen, what made it scary to me was the fact that, you know, like how children don't really understand the world, and the fact that he was using her desire to be a normal child and not have,
right.
you know, like all that kind of stuff. And it was kind of heartbreaking, actually. And the fact that she really genuinely believed that that's what was going to happen. And he does, you know, it just, to me, that was the most effective. They had kind of done it more that way, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think sometimes they have this feeling that the more gory something is, the scarier it is. But to me, it has the completely opposite effect. The more gory something is, the cheesier it becomes, and like the less effectively scary it becomes.
Exactly.
Now, having seen, what was the name of that? Bone Tomahawk? Having seen Bone Tomahawk, that's one of the few exceptions where really disgusting gore is very disturbing.
Oh.
But that doesn't happen often.
Right.
That's one scene in a movie that has just probably disturbed me the most of any sort of like, and it's not necessarily your regular horror movie, but there's something that happens in there. It is so, it actually made me feel sick to my stomach. And that doesn't happen to me often.
Okay.
It was terrible. If you ever watch that movie, you will know what I'm talking about when you see it. Oh my gosh. So disturbing.
You know what I might have to do? Because I know my limitations. So I might have to just read the the parental guide.
You want me to tell you what it is?
It's up to you.
See how fast he moves in this movie too? Like, he's not shambly at all. I'll tell you after this scene happens. It's like looking at her. Who are you? She falls down the steps just like her grandma did.
Yep. Ooh.
She was very believable here with the pain scream.
Even though it's not real, the sound effects of bone snapping.
Yeah. Or just anything happening with people's legs. Oh, this scene was just like, ugh. And see, they don't show a lot of blood there, but you just know what's happening. To me, that was kind of an effectively scary sort of or horrifying kill.
Right.
You know? Without
seeing blood flying all over the wall.
Yeah, it's true. Doesn't he do something to him here? Does he break his neck here? Does he do something? I think he does. Yeah, he's like, whoa, no! Yep. Turns his head all the way around.
Because for a second, I kind of recall, like, that's not all that he did. And then as soon as he turned, like, it came back right as he, wow. That was brutal.
Like, okay. That should have broken his neck right there. And that pierced his lungs. There's no way he could get back up and do just that injury, D.
The curb stomp was so funny.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
Jason, are we gonna see his face?
I don't want to ever see his face. I don't even think they should show as much of him as they showed. I don't think we should see that he's balding.
Right.
I don't like that. I mean, Nick Castle, I don't know if this isn't Nick Castle, this is the other guy, but they showed him like that in the 2018 movie, and I didn't think that we should even see that much of him.
And when he was standing in the courtyard thing?
Yes, yeah.
I like this piano version.
The what?
I like the piano version.
Yeah. Did you know he had a roommate that was a hitman?
No.
Yes, and he got pointers from him on how to act. Like how to, just like, I think the guy told him, just like walk like you're where you're supposed to be, because he would just like walking through neighborhoods and stuff, and I thought that was kind of funny. I thought this was where the movie was going to end. Right. This is where it should have ended.
Like cut to black right here?
That's what I thought was going to happen. I honestly did. It would have been a great ending right here.
Right.
Okay, well, he's caught. What's going to happen now,
Halloween. Everyone's entitled to one good scare.
Oh, jeez.
That poor man.
And this scene where he puts the mask on is not nearly as effective as the 2018 scene where he puts it on, he gets it out of the trunk of the car. I really loved how they did that. There's just something so effective about it.
And my thing is, why are they still standing there while he's putting his mask on?
I know, they're just standing there letting him do it. Thank you. It's like the mask gives him power or something.
Right.
Are you going now? That makes me think they're going into some sort of territory with Halloween 3. That's something about the mask, in Halloween 3. It doesn't give people power, but just almost makes you wonder if they're trying to go there.
Right. Crowbar, a golf club.
Multiple bullets. Now, he got shot multiple times in the first one, too, but you never knew where.
Right.
Here, he took some hits right into the chest, which is where the lungs are. He's also been stabbed already with in the lungs. I think she even stabs him with this big ass knife. And right here, like back here. That should have like severed his vertebra and made him where he couldn't even walk again. Oh, okay, no, it's off to the side. But that's then she does this little speech thing, and I'm like, no, he's transcending. Oh gosh.
What do you mean? Like, now the idea of the true curse of Michael Myers being something like he kind of lives on, or like the fear of him always, or he lives beyond like just his physical presence. In theory, like his impact,
See that like all this time it takes to kill these people, and then they're just like, they're just like waiting around, just like with the firemen. What were you getting ready to say? You were talking about you were saying something about tying into what she had said.
Yeah, no, I could see like I'm talking about like not the literal sense, but in theory, the idea of Michael Myers living on, or the fact that he's never really dead because of what he's done, and the fact that the fear of him,
right?
That will always live on. Like that, I get, and that makes sense. But then they tie it into this.
Yeah, and then she goes up here. How in the world does Michael get past all these people to go up there to kill her at the end?
What is the timeline? I really didn't feel bad when Tommy died.
Yeah, no, it just
maybe it's the way he did his character, but well.
Yeah, I don't think his character was. I try to pretend he doesn't exist in this movie. So, like, why wasn't he swinging the bat whenever Michael was killing these other people? He just waited his turn.
And what is the timeline of him killing them sitting out here waiting for the ambulance? Like, that's what I'm confused about. Like,
yeah, I don't know if it's happening at the same time because they're like I think a street over,
right?
Because she ran away over there, and she said, "Gotcha." They did the stuff to him. They think he's dead, and then she obviously leaves. But then the mob still sticks around, and then he just jumps back up and does all this crap. This made no sense that she would do this. Also, it's a crime scene. They wouldn't just let her go. The police would be like barricading this off. They wouldn't just let her be wandering through here.
I just wanted to know why she felt so compelled to walk into this man's house.
Right. Yeah.
and just stare out the window.
They made this window be a big deal in this movie. He's always looking out the window. Okay. I think this is a scene that might have been cut.
Yeah.
Because I think the original movie ended because I remember there's a scene that they showed in the trailer that they did not show in here. And I think this is when she finds out, she gets it that her daughter's dead, and then this is when she walks down the hallway.
Right.
Like they showed in the trailer. Yeah. That's how they ended the 2018 with zeroing in on the knife.
Right.
Remember that with the granddaughter?
Yeah.
So I don't think there's anything at the end. I'm just trying to, because at the end of 2018 they have him breathing at the very end of the credits.
They do. Yeah.
Because Dark Knight, I love that movie. That's in my top 10 as well. No heavy breathing. Okay, let me unshare so we can make ourselves bigger. Oh, there we go. All right.